Right, good morning, guys. Let's hope everyone is well and in good care. Right, okay, welcome to our topic. I think this is the next topic that we introduced last time, which is production possibility curve. Okay, so on PPC, I think it's written there. I had to put there in your notes. As soon as you come back, I'm gonna give you these notes. Right, it's written description of what of production possibility curves, reflecting on what efficiencies and explain how they reconcile choice and scarcity. Right, okay. So learners should cover the following: the position of the production possibility curve, determined by internal factors and determined by external factors. Then maximizing satisfaction from limited resources by means of what indifference curves, then consumption, then production, and finally effects of what inefficiencies. Okay, so that's what we have there. Then we go the position of the production possibility curve. Describe the possibility what the production possibility curve, which is PPC. So the production possibility curve shows the alternative combination of any two goods or services that can be attained if all the variable resources are fully and efficiently employed. So in other words, we are talking about two products that are produced by one resource. For example, if we have flour, is it able to produce bread and cakes, or maybe bread and rolls? You see that. So we are talking about one resource that produces two types of products. Okay, right. So the purpose of the PPC, it shows all possible combinations of goods that can be produced with a given set of resources. So we want to maximize use of what of all those resources. Okay, right. So the shape of the PPC, the production possibility curve, is the boundary between attained and unattained output combinations. The production possibility curve is concave to the origin. Okay, so this is what we mean by concave. So we have convex. Convex is like this. You see that? So this one is concave. So this one is convex. Don't confuse the two. This is concave. Okay. So we have points A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. So on points A, B, C, D, and E, we are saying at A there, at A, all the resources are used to produce cell phones. Okay. So what are we saying here? We have workers here. We are having what? Cell phones. We are using one resource to produce what? Workers and cell phones. Okay. So at point A, we can see that it is in the y-axis. We are not producing anything like the workers. You see that? We are only using, we are using all those resources to produce what? Cell phones. So we are producing 600 watt cell phones. But now at B, we are producing 500 cell phones and 300 watt workers. You see that? Okay. So in other words, points A, B, C, D are the possible combinations. Production is what? Efficient. Okay. Right. Okay. So at B, like what I said, we are producing 500 cell phones and 300 watt workers. Then at C, we have 300 cell phones and then maybe 450 watt workers. Okay. Then at D, we are producing less cell phones, which is 100 cell phones, but almost 499 or 98 or 90 workers. But at E now, we are using all the resources to produce workers. We are producing 500 what? Workers. Okay, so that's what we have there. Right, okay. So at G, this one is under. We are doing under production or inefficient in terms of what production. This can be caused by what? Lack of skills, maybe lack of raw materials, maybe poor quality of raw materials, maybe the workers are not trained, maybe machinery. We are using old, inadequate what? Or obsolete machinery. We are underproducing, we are producing under capacity. You see that? Right, okay. Then at H, this point is an attainable what position? You see that we are producing over the required or the capacity. You see that? Right, so we are outside the production possibility what curve, our production possibility curve. You see that? This can be attained. There is many ways or many reasons why we can be able to have this position. So this position is attained through maybe what can we say? We have advanced what? Machinery. We just bought advanced what? Machinery. Oh, what can you say? Maybe we have expertise. Our workers are too much trained. You see that they have skills here. Right, okay. So this position can be attained, or we attained what? Quality raw materials than we normally have. You see that? So that's what we have there. Okay. So that's what we have on the production possibility curve. Okay. So this diagram, it shows one resource that is used to produce what? Two products. Okay. Now we go to the next page. On the different combinations with possibilities there, A, workers are 0. This is what we have on the diagram there. Then cell phones are 600. Then B, workers are 175. Cell phones 575. Then C, we have 450 workers and then 275 watt cell phones. Then D, we have 500 watt workers and then 0 cell phones. So that's what we have there. And it's interpreted on the diagram here. Okay, so that's what we have. Then we go to the curve now on explanation on the description there. The production of workers is measured on the horizontal axis. Here, this is what we mean by the horizontal axis. Then the production of one of cell phones is measured in the vertical axis or in the y-axis. Then the different attainable combinations in the table are represented by the points A, B, C, and D. When we move from point A to point B, from point B to point C, from point C to point D, etc., the production of workers increases while the production of cell phones decreases. Okay, so that's what we have. If the business produces 600 cell phones, then 0 workers can be produced. To produce the first 175 workers, there is a sacrifice of 25 cell phones, move from 600 to 575. Then, to produce 450 workers, there is a further sacrifice of 300 cell phones. If the business produces 500 workers, then 0 cell phones can be produced. This curve shows that more workers can only be produced by sacrificing more cell phones or producing less cell phones. Right. So on the attainable point or position of point H, I think I've showed you on the diagram, which is outside the PPC. Production at point H is impossible with the given what resource. It is outside the production possibility curve. To produce at H, the business needs more resources. Okay, I think I told you about recent or modern technology or high quality what? Products. You see that? Or resources, in fact, or trained workforce, we can be able to get this at an unattainable what position. Then inefficient position, which is G, which falls inside the PPC. Production at point G is regarded as inefficient because it is inside the production possibility curve. Okay. If production occurs at point G, then there is a waste of what? Of resources. Okay. Then production can be increased up to any point on the production possibility what? Curve. Right, okay. So the possibility frontier curve illustrates the following. There is choice, there is sacrifice, there is opportunity what? Cost. You see that? So on choice, like what I said, is illustrated by the need to choose among the available combinations along the curve. You see that? Where would you want to produce? Maybe at A, or maybe at B, or maybe at C, or D, or E. But as long as it falls along the PPC. Then scarcity is illustrated by point H because all the points to the right of the curve are unattainable. Okay. Then we go to opportunity cost then. Right, this is illustrated by the negative slope of the curve. More of one good can only be attained by sacrificing some of the other good. Opportunity cost is the trade-off between two goods. Right, so opportunity cost, like what I said, is the cost of what? Of foregoing one option. You see that, or available choice there. So the opportunity cost is increasing the output of workers from 175 units to 450 units. Okay, then opportunity cost of decreasing cell phones from 575 units to 575 units, the increase is the increasing output of what? 300 workers. So movement along the production possibility curve, the quantity of the available resource can increase, or production techniques can what? Can improve. You see that? So we can be able to move along the curve. This is how we can be able to do so. So if this happens, the production possibility curve will shift outwards. If the PPC shifts outward, then it illustrates economic what? Growth. You see that? Right. So guys, that's what we have for today. So thank you for being with me. Meet next time.